Chish ya kaiti tekatuhan. Ya kone dati jiwuni. Ya hayukatangi adat we kutia. Ka we yatuzihi wan kanin kui khati. Wasad kakone. Ya Haa Ḳusteeyí tachike at kootéeyaa. Kootéeyaa yanda aya ʼatudli.ák ʻḲusteeyí. Ya kutia datawe kauduachak. Ka kauduachak ka has akawatid. Ya ya yukatank adat koach tuasago adat shikachtul. So thinking about ways, we're going to look at a few different verbs that have to do with totem poles because there is a totem pole racing in Haa Ḳusteeyí this weekend. And so we'll get ready for some, so when we look this verb up, kootéeyaa ʻakak. So this is a standing, so this whole, it's like a standing type of verb. So like to put it up or to raise it, basically. There's going to be, we'll find at least one more verb that talks about raising a totem pole. But if Keewáa is the future, we should be able to see that this K is quite likely signaling that we have G conjugation, which is an upward thing. So then we should be able to say, okay, well, then you got to add G for the command form. And if it's plural, you got to have the subject pronoun there. And then if it's G, the command should be long and low. Zeros will be short and high. So then we also should be able to put a perfective together, and it's going to be long and low because it's also not zero, right? So if it's not zero, then we should be able to say, okay, hasakawatan. They raised a totem pole. So how would I say, starting with here, we are going to raise a totem pole? Oh boy.
Would it be a 2 in there for the we? Or
And a gach.
Okay.
And then the verb.
Yeah, well. There's maybe 3 things missing right now.
Don't you need a K in there?
Ooh, we're down to 2.
Time.
We're down to 1.
It takes that class.
Wooch.
Uh,
What's missing now? One thing. Look at the top. Look over here.
Maybe but why wouldn't you have in the imperative if
No.
To have like right here.
Ha.
No ha. No
would there be a directional on the totem pole because it's a motion verb, or?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
ka gach tu tan?
Yeah. So ka, once you just got a spot. Okay, there's that part, right? So there was that. And so we raised a totem pole.
what is the K-A?
It's a horizontal surface.
Okay.
Goes up on the, you're kind of standing it up. We might have 3 different verbs. There's at least 2 for raising a total. But I know of 3 total. They're probably all in it. And we raised a totem pole. All the points are right.
We brave Akatuatan.
Ka to tongue. I might have 1 blank right there. Oh, we should do that.
Cow.
Yeah, away. Or come to a tongue, right? Yay! This ridicule part isn't on here. It's just like a little extra bonus thing. So kati, so this is a chisel, flat chisel. This is flat chiseling something. Then we got that one, okay. So I know you can also say, where did I catch that one? ʻatudli.ák, that one is there. And then there's one with hun on it. There. Let's check the verb dictionary. Maybe there's something there. Oops. What else did I see? So we have kaudewati, kauti, adan nigwati ahuha. The paint has vanished. Yaksaan ade hitleyechiya. Has a pleasant face. Yeah, so I guess we don't really have it on. Okay. Oh, goodness, geez. And there's a orange shirt event in Shitka. Kijinyagi dakunga kashu guksaqwa. We'll wait for that. So I was just looking through for raise, and you got like raise that's hackles. That's pretty cool. I've got a dog who does that. So you've got shwutlikut to fluff up one's own feathers or hair. Puffing out, getting big.
But
Raising
is that raised just for that, with animals, or is it raised period?
Yeah, like I don't know if that would be like to like 80s big hair bands, how they would like, or like lots of people do it, like puff their hair way up. That might work.
Got it.
Fluffing up hair, feathers, pillow. Seems like it would work. Oh, that's a good thing to test though. It'll be fun. Raising eyebrows to secretly communicate. Throwing your eyebrows up. Raising the voice. Raising someone. Awsawat. Shwutliwat is to make yourself bigger. That's the one I use for like I thought it was a fun one for like, I guess a cat would do the kook one too. But sometimes, like animals really try to make themselves look big. But this is the verb shnitlwat. That's what Raven said to that little octopus that he shrunk so it would make itself big again. ʼatudli.ák, to raise a flag. Oh, that's cool. Ḥáawnúk, to. So this is one that I thought I saw. Ḥáawnúk. Maybe I'll see if I find that. So that's to like get out of bed, or to apparently rise from your grave. Okay. I thought ḥáawnúk was it too. And then I've heard something. Káusahan, maybe. Well, I don't know if I'll find it. But I saw it. Skin praise. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay. Good sheesh. Kootéeyaa ya kootéeyaa with the hun. Yáni kak. I guess you could say Kootéeyaa ya kootéeyaa with the hani. Yáni ka. It's good that the totem pole is standing on your land. Or stood up, right? So that'd be kind of a cool way to say it. Say Kootéeyaa kootéeyaa the hani. And this is a, I got it right. It's a kootéeyaa that's commemorating and raising conversations about domestic violence, violence against women, and ending that. So you could say, I think the way they said, Kaa Ḳáawu, and this one is maybe a little more related to some of the conversations around Orange Shirt Day, which would be every child is really important. And so that's what that would be saying. And you can also say adawóotl. Children, right? People's children, children. Adawóotl is probably more common, or atiatki, that one goes. It's a dialect thing. Okay.
In that sentence, what does ʼatk mean?
So in this case, at is something. So this is on its own. It's an independent fourth person non-human pronoun. So it's just the something. That we see it all over the place in a bunch of names. Shakiat, Shayet, a whole bunch of things. We see it in a whole bunch of clan names when they ends with adi or adi or wadi. There's an at that's in there, and then you get sati. So like to become or to be something. So it's really interesting to me in Lingít that ʼatudli.ák. Like I guess you could just, a literal translation could be, it's something. And then like the meaning is that it's important. And so that's how we talk about things. But then there's other ways to say important. But if you say like yadashli'at, it's a heavy thing, but it's usually a serious thing. You could say ʼatudli.ák, which would be a valuable thing or a cherished thing. People value it. What's that one? Ḥáawnúk. Let me double check this. And these are good things, I think, to just know how to talk about. So ḥáawnúk. Let me put these all on a list so that we can see them. But all of these, like, so when we're talking about things being important, events happening, things that we need to sort of commemorate or remember. Haa Ḳusteeyí would be, it is an important thing, right? Which is, and so we're going to focus on the meaning. I got it a little smaller. So it's an important thing. Yádi, it's heavy, it's important. And this, just remember, this heavy could mean like literally heavy, like it's something, it weighs a lot, but it could also mean heavy as in very serious. Like it's a really heavy thing. It's a real heavy topic. ʼatudli.ák would be valuable, cherished thing. And then ʼtushigé would be thing we don't want to share. Okay. But we do have something to share. Y'all got some language to share? Y'all put some sentences together we could start with. Or continue with, we've already started.
Kootéeyaa, kootéeyaa, wasa kookanuk.
What's the get to Wooch?
Kootéeyaa, 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 wasa kookanuk. Wasa kookanuk.
What's I to Wooch you, huh? Kakashahidike.
Ah,
Okay.
kashkahit. Husin aya, hakain aya, wasa kuanuk. Husin aya, hakain aya, wasa kuanuk.
Aya.
Ah, Kazne,
Kazne, Nahin, Texas Museum Ga,
ah,
Okay.
helping, Lily Hope.
Ah.
Wooch came da'at to eat ʼatudli.ák.
ah, jeez.
Gis'oogsmåi ʼatudli.ák. Wooch came da'at. Kasnet ate. Hosatin dasa'au. Dasa'a kausene. Tlaktlakudzi ahe.
Hune, wasa iduasak apron Kasne.
Nahin. Asa duasak at. Kut da'at. Kwasye.
Kuta.
Kita at tsui iduasak. Yádi. Kut da'at doi khosaku.
Oh.
Da.
Kuta.
At. Yeah. Washi toasaku yisaku dasawe. Kut. Yádi. Good.
Mhm.
at you do soccer at but wait that's we mini skirt so but should go side good at khoa we khoa it at so yeah do yeah what you do we base of the spine like Nachin kudas, nachin kuyacheti, nachin kudas, nachin kutdaat, nachin kuskeit. Kuskeit zu fuksa. Yeah, the kuskeit. Kuskeit, kutdaat, kudas, nachin. Okay.
Dasa na geen boots.
Juan again?
Juana?
Nachin dasa?
Yeah, boots.
Nachin Juan.
Socks.
Oh.
Oh, si Juan.
Oh, Karsini. Okay. Nachin Kate. Kate the way you do one. Actually, what's that do sabot? Letini ni Haa Ḳusteeyí wutian. Chaan kwa Haa Ḳusteeyí ti khosaku.
Na geen chilcat raven's tail.
Yes, cool. Yes, cool. You do a soft ravens.
See, yes, kootéeyaa nachin. I want to say on it, Northern Lights.
Oh, gis'ooḳ. Gis'ooḳ wuti. Kali saku one panis kanyach yeti gis'ooḳ. Kash at it kainak. Shagao adawóotl ayayepoti. Was kanyach yeti we gis'ooḳ. One panins gis'ooḳ to nachtse. Ye away routine. Keewáa Ḳáawu. Keewáa Ḳáawu ayakwash adawóotl team. Haswuna. Aka kwash haswutjak. Keewáa ade haskukwaha. Yadi so ayakach shahid. Achit haswutashi atling fu yat atin. No, atling K yuchetang kutzati. Keewáa yadi Kunachawe the key kena Keewáa Ḳáawu yadi Kwali tuasagu ye tu Keewáa Ḳáawu kwash Ḥusteeyí tin. Hasawajak, haswuduwajak. Gwash haswudajak tsu. Aqa'awe Keewáa Ḳáawu ḥusteeyí. Keewáa. Yatatsu. Keewáa Ḳáawu k'éijí. Yuduwasagu at yata. Ka Keewáa Ḳáawu yahayi. Yak. Yak'e sa aya. Ya hastu yutachotangwan kanins achua. Jayagaking klidzi away yatakatat dat way. Tu ditani. Ya hastu dat away yutachotang. Keochne kahwai na kasa kaushikita sukukuti.
Keewáa Ḳáawu, can't think of the word, memories, kootéeyaa.
Oh, huh. But Keewáa Sháaxʼ yegachtu sa.
Ḥusteeyí.
Actually, one utusa kutlidzi ya kusti. One kalins atlain shawat aya hasawa jak kach away. Ye absane. Ye away achlish kutlain. Ha ayna kawanik. Yutiki at you hung, yutiki at Gedash. Hasha would the henen scoot. Aka away ake wutien port chilku. Hasawe al sheikhi. Kashana shay a it. Kone ayagan wusha hash. Lingít Sháaxʼ. Lingít Sháaxʼ. Ye away. Ajoe klesh hasha would the hen. Ya yidat. Ajoe gwash Keewáa Sháaxʼ. Aya. Keewáa Sháaxʼ. Yegachtu sa. Ya hastu kach aya. Kachtu shgao. Hatuwasagu tlayeye wuti. Ya adawóotl hastu katwuguti. Klidzi aya chalta katat the way hajich would do a set. Ha hatlatki, ha ani, ha yuchatangi, ha ḥusteeyí. Ha yetki, ha tlahas, ha athas. Achawe tlayeye kakwati. Yewa achal chayz. Shikar chuchs yuduwasagu at. We atshi. Gwal kaika nachsati has awashi. Ye away. Gachte ach. We achitin. Shukach at the yetki. Kagwantan yetki. But has to yetki teen aya. Has to Yádi. Has a she. Aka away. Has to kanayan. Has to tosago. Has our she. Shukar chuchs yuduwasagu at. Chuch. Aya. Yet that's too. Tach. Atsati at the way at that way you have to at the that. Shukar chuchs at your teshatua ushka. Shuhi. Yewa at that you took the tan. Kingis the awechosatin. Yesh kutak. Dat yejit to nechat ka. Kahwanish ka shakshani. Yesh koneyawe kiu is. Kajak shilly kat kakaski. Yewa. Train out the that. Yik air day. Nachlahash. Aka yewa one means you watan ye. Shakshan yewa. Ha. Koneshukar chuchs ye. Ka adat the way you tachotan. That's the way shukar chuchs koa. Tesla nashe it away. Kuchain. Yes, kutak. Duch eight aya adati jitune. Hutsu. Kone shukar chuchs. Pawe. Ke awashi. Keewáa Ḳáawu. Anchorage Haa Fairbanks Day put Yakun to teen Wika. Das so is Shukar Huks. Isikuke ʻatudli.ák in a Hanakawan. Oh, okay. It's calling the end back to the beginning. Okay, at that's up to you, huh?
Nasa Lingít enach adawóotl.
Adawóotl. Yeah, that's it. Question. Adawóotl. Kallushki at adawóotl. Away kunachwe tash Keewáa Ḥáawu. One qanins aya Lingít. Hasti to us kushagaun. ʻatudli.ák. What is a good away was a good Joy adawóotl to name. Adawóotl. Yeah, that's it. Yádi. Yádi. A joy away was Ḥáasteeyí nach YouTube to Tani. Yes. Yádi. Sháaxʼ adawóotl. Sháaxʼ adawóotl. Keewáa Ḥáawu. Yádi. Haa Ḳusteeyí. Keewáa dadach to us Keewáa Ḥáawu. Yádi. Oh, adawóotl. Adawóotl. Like adawóotl. Adawóotl. Good day. Wait, that's Chalk away, yeah. Has was you I guess a go yata that when yeah. Tippy tap, you do a saga at Keewáa to a block, yeah. iPad was tablet, ye was ʻúch'ich ye away ye gachtustin. We you a tongue kagachtus'éach you a quatan. Haa Ḥusteeyí that John that age to name. Yádi. We cook her webpage kakaye kakwati. Ziyagan. Dakasa. And Keewáa to a block time. Dakasa dagi tachotan. Just wait, huh? Shukra. Plague. Yádi. Adawóotl. Adawóotl. Yeah, Yádi. gis'ooḳ. Isikuke that's the way with gis'ooḳ. ʼíyáq ʻásaqa kagaqtushi. ʼíyáq. Achiadki on kanins. Du inyo yachwatan. Shesh is ʼíyáqoq. Ya achid. Khandeen khanakaunik. I'm not slow. Khanakroe khandeen. Khandu tu yewut. Ikwas tu inyo khatatan. Shesh ʼíyáq. Heshwasako awan kanins. Shesh ʼíyáq. Yechwaji yakuste. Keen yachati. Was shitu shai the woodsnooch. Yeah, was kootéeyaa yanastan yakuste. Kastigi nachkoa. Was ilchiyak. Qaqwatiyahi. Yewe achtim butanako. Cheese. Oh, Wooch. Se Wooch. Adati jigachtuneyakan. Gonna cheese, Johan. Hokecha. So ye jigachtune we verbs down. Kwaskiwe but. Kega. Okay. Any questions? Are you okay? If I gotta do a check-in, I'll do a check-in next week. Just make sure everybody's okay. Shana Kate, you attend again?
Dak Lingít Yukatank Yesa. Again.
That Yersa?
4 Lingít sentences still.
Oh, do you any?
Keewáa Ḳáawu, yeah, Skáats'nígi. Yéiste, ya kunahain. ʼAtudli.ák. Kunade, yan chakuk. Llwg ʼachastéach. Lleidu seo llwg ʼachdiwa. ʼatudli.ák. Yádi yan chakuk. Haa Sháax'k. Goed akwe. Pleeg. Chess. Pleidu seo. Kusta. Haa Sháax'k. Yanashkein. Atskani. Kusta kwani chuch. Ye chatwuti. Kwa. Slash. ʼatudli.ák. Shannon. Wanachsawe. Chat. Uri chweit. Chat. Uri tlak. Achawe. Kusta kwan. Yaxsika. Haga. Yan Juane. Keewáa. Haa Ḳusteeyí ʼatudli.ák. Yasnakuk. Haa Ďakúteeyaa. Yak yik. Haa Ḳáawu. Sina. Yádis. Yakut ayanaha. Stuchek. ʼatudli.ák. Yak hiri ut Slash chat woody tlak. Qua kunach chat woody wheat. Tak de ya kunahain. ʼatudli.ák. Wooch.
Okay, gonna cheese. Cheese, cheese, Kashnika.
Ja,
Gonna cheese.
ida you to Khatank. Tlak ye to Shuan. Och you Khatangi Khat Kayadeh. Tlakhat shit gay.
Okay, cheese. Yeah, Keewáa Sháaxʼ. Yeah, okay. Keewáa Tónshku adawótl kootéeyaa. Yádi takatiyu katangi. Cookiek and cheese. Okay. So okay. What's up with that? Okay. Keep cracking them out. Like just bring sentences, and we'll talk a little bit before we go about. I think Monday. Let's talk about. Okay, we're gonna have two. This is what I'd propose: two topics. Oh wait, Sky do.
Goodness, geez. I have a few sentences.
Okay.
So, yin sakuge masa kuchanuk. A'tuasigu kauchlanigi. Yida kiknachne uku kachashkit. Tatke ku Fredericton ade kuchwatin. Tach ega stu achutust kaye dichtunet. Ade chatnero. Shakte seda in kukas sien kua saganin shaki at a kach gwach au. Ega kish ade quadli se a quadli sa ye. Tu play achdat achye kustinch. Ye kusti aya. Uchwe.
Oh. Okay. Jeez, gedang kaisha hit. Okay. For real this time over the weekend, I'll work on our spreadsheet so we could share sentences and look at them. And then we'll have a place to put them. That way we can scroll through and see them. I might make some comments on them throughout the rest of the semester. And then I think also like working on the base. I haven't really like the base camp's gone cold. Sa'ati ataway. Yan shuka. But we'll go light the fires in the base camp and try and figure out how we could use that to connect everybody. And we also have a separate Zoom, a whole other Zoom account that's just dedicated to creating study groups and conversation times so that we can figure out when folks want to form some working groups. I know some of you already have working groups, but I think it's really helpful to do this stuff and to work on these things, whether you're sort of crafting your sentences together or going over things or just trying to have conversation times. I think it's very helpful to be talking with folks who are learning at the same sort of level and pace that you might be at. So, and I think for Monday, I want to do 2 topics. And so one is kind of tough. So Orange Shirt Day, what all of this stuff is about with Orange Shirt Day, I would like us to talk about that in Lingít. So bring some thoughts for that. I'll bring some things. I'll have a few things to say. I'll probably have a video to share. And then we'll talk about some of this stuff. And then also these totem poles and the Na'achain, I think would be really neat because these are things that are coming back more and more, right? So there's, I remember it wasn't that long ago when they're saying the first totem pole and 100 years here and 100 years there, and now they're every summer you got like 10 of them popping up. So it's really exciting. There's 30 of them that are be coming in to the Haa Ḳusteeyí area. Probably 10 more that are going to go up on the mountain where the tram is and stuff. So it's really exciting time. So first a difficult topic and then sort of a fun topic. So that's what we'll try and do on Monday. You can script your things. You can also make some notes and then we can reflect a little bit. We'll visit next week too about having some folks start taking the lead on coming up with ideas and giving us some sort of tasks to work on. Okay, okay. So I've got a couple of things in the works, and one of them is here. So we left off here. We did a little bit of classifier stuff because we had to just launch into a few topics about like how these things work. Continue to check in, come back to this. But for now, we're still in fill in the blank mode, object pronoun practice, good review, to be able to accurately predict how this one's going to sound. What all the things are given to us here. We went over this, we were going over this the other day, so we'll revisit it again. How do we know how to predict what this verb is going to be like?
ʼatudli.ák.
Yes, so ʼatudli.ák, that's what it's going to be. And as we go through, it has O, so there's only an object pronoun, so you're going to pick from there. It's a D0 classifier. So we're going to expect either di or da, right? In the future, it's going to be da. For now, to say it's happening right now, it is that way. We peek over here. So, oh, that's an event verb, so it has to be in the perfective. There's no imperfective for this, so it has to be in the perfective. And it must have already happened. And so because it's an event verb, going to be perfective, then we bounce back here. This will be di. Then we look here, it's 0, so it's going to be ʼák. It's going to be short because it's 0 and closed, right? So just continuing to come back to all these things.
0.
Go through these rules again. You are wet. We got 2 ways to say this one, depending on where you're from.
Imdit'lak.
Or
ʼatudli.ák.
ʼatudli.ák.
Yeah.
So in this case, The perfective does contract to just a W. And so this again, if we got a vowel on one side, and then in the classifier we have a consonant and a vowel, that will trigger the M. We have to have those things to get the M. Oh, okay. We'll do a couple of these, and then we'll come back to you. El chish. Singular, they are wet, or it is wet.
ʼatudli.ák.
Well, not ow, because then that would be putting a subject in there.
Oh. ʼatudli.ák.
With the tuck, right? So
ʼatudli.ák.
these ones that only have objects, once we get to, so we start with me, you. When we go to third person, we can look back up to the top and just get the chet out of there. Okay, plurals. We are wet. We're gonna have two options.
ʻatudli.ák,
ʻatudli.ák,
ʻatudli.ák.
ʻatudli.ák. Yeah, oh well. So again, this vowel ending triggers that contraction. Now we're going to look at that too. And start to look at contraction. What exactly is going on? What are the most likely things to contract? And we'll look at this for perfective and future. Let's keep messing around with this stuff. Y'all are wet.
ʻatudli.ák.
You did luck. Yim did luck. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh. At the language nest, kids love to play with these buckets of water. We had to cut it off because 4-year-olds carrying like big buckets of water. You did luck.
Grande.
Yeah, what? Yeah, well, they're playing outside. Yeah, they're playing outside. They all are wet. Plural.
ʻatudli.ák.
Us with the tuck. And then people are wet.
ʻatudli.ák.
Ku did tuck or kum did tuck. Okay. And we do have tuck, so it comes out very quickly with those ejectives on either side. Okay. Keewáa Ḥáawu. This shows us everything we need to know, but what are those things? Walk us through those things so we can accurately predict them. What do you see up here to be able to predict what this will be?
An object.
Cut.
So you're gonna have chet, yeah, for that first one, you have chet. What's the rest gonna be?
Oh. Event, so it.
Yeah, it'll be perfective. So you're gonna get you right here in between ya and the classifier. Because it's going to be perfective, you're also gonna have, so you're gonna end up with ya, you, ya. All of these will have ya, you, ya in there. And then, what's this gonna be? It's a perfective, it's closed, and it's 0.
You have a plus sign.
Yes, so this will be ya.
Ah,
And then
yeah.
this will be, got 3 options, seek, seek, sick.
Sick.
Yes, it'll be sick. 0, perfective, closed, it'll be a short high. So, I am weathered in. Keewáa Sháaxʼ. Yeah. Now this one, so we had these different rules about like it's the W or the M. One is that's a zero classifier, so you're not going to have M. Two, there's a thematic there, so it's going to also create some cushion between some of these things. So you're going to get less contraction generally because you're going to have this and you're going to have the object on the other side of it. And ya doesn't really contract. Ka can. Huh.
Yeah, is that the face, vertical surface?
It is.
See.
I guess I'm not quite understanding how that relates to the rest of the verb.
Yeah, sometimes it is just there. Like when you say like, I guess you could say something like, oh, so like Yáwá, they said that thing. Doesn't really make sense why there's a vertical surface or a face on there.
Unless one is facing into the weather.
Well, yeah, so you could say, so I guess we could take a look at, to take some deep dives into this, we could. So one of the places, like if we go to the dictionary and we go down to the verb root seek, just to see what that verb root might mean. So we'll scroll down, seen, seq, delayed, or held back. So it could be, because it could be like something like maybe the weather is like this, and that's the thing that's holding you back. So yeah, some of this stuff you can think about the meaning and it's pretty fun, but then other times you just have to say, okay, that's just how the thing is. Okay. You are weathered in.
Keewáa Sháaxʼ.
Keewáa Sháaxʼ, right? And the I is always connected. That is always connected to the verb. They are weathered in. It is weathered in. Like my
Keewáa Sháaxʼ.
Yáwá Sháaxʼ, right? We had this thing we were trying to send to Deishu the other day. A Yádi, Yáwá Sháaxʼ, Yahakuku. We are weathered in.
Haa Ďáwá
Haa, right? So this is, you're not going to get a whole lot of contraction here because this is going to sort of create some space between this vowel ending, right? Yáwá. You're going to get Yáwá all the way down. Y'all are weathered in.
Keewáa Sháaxʼ.
Yáwá Sháaxʼ. They all are weathered in.
Keewáa Sháaxʼ.
Well, you got to pluralize it.
Has Keewáa Sháaxʼ.
Us is in there. Yáwá Sháaxʼ. People are weathered in.
Yáwá Sháaxʼ.
Oh, Yáwá Sháaxʼ. Okay, good cheese. Okay. Okay, Kaa, you get some, you want to share some sentences and we'll come back to this?
We Sansu Artavoryik. Kadonik adawóotl. Chastakat at adawóotl. Adat. Chastakat at adawóotl. How? How Kawooch, they kachenach Leonard Willard, just katach. Kadanuk adat Kedain Kun team Kun Kunaksha. Shashlagao Kajucha Chatlak Huschiwu. They always have it.
Chatlak has to G na teach.
Oh, do you yena teach? Ayahawe can chish.
Okay.
Kadane kun chatlak chas a Dane wuna teach? Is that
Has to G na teach.
oh
What we
na
do
teach?
right now, but it
Ah.
works for like used to as well.
Has to wu ye na teach. Shaslaka jakuha squeaky wheel. Chastakata tribal coon, tribal council, tribal coon. Chatlak. Wait, see, not on me right now. So I keep forgetting it. Chatlak.
If you are on a roll.
Yay, yana teach. They always have it.
Chatlak has to G na teach.
Oh, chatlak has to ye yana teach.
Ye na teach.
Shaslakao kujuha. Yayati adawóotl ka. How? Adawóotl kadena wa yayati Slatinch tribal coon or Kawut kadanika, yeah. Finchish.
Nkecha, cheesh. Kwalteka itudishi at kun ka'in, ku'u people. Okay. Okay, yeah, away. Go ahead to away A and B. Yeah, away. Yeah, has na teach. One qanins has to yuqatangi teen. Wush has kuwut down. Yeah, away. Adata way dasa has to tuasaguan. Yeah, tutlawooch. One qanins tutlawooch. They're so close together. So tutlawooch is like fortitude, mental strength. It's what you need. Tutlawooch, stubbornness. This is just like they're one sound away. And there's a whole bunch of those things that do that, where there's like there's two versions that are very close, like kach. So kach and cuts, they both are sharp, but there's a slight difference between them. Duktuk, toot and tooch. It's both have to do with being black in color, but there's a slight difference there. And there's a few of them that you'll find that are like that. And then there's some that are also really close so like is garbage. Is like lint or some sort of, it's a rubbish, but it's a little bit more, I guess not the discard, not something that humans throw away. It's a little bit more natural, but it's still like and so some of those things are really neat when you sort of like kind of examine them, how close they are to each other. Gunilchish, ukecha. Oh, and shekechji, kajucha. That would be a squeaky wheel. Qeich is really neat. It's like when it's really cold, and we have to go to Dakha if we really want to experience cold, and it's just not cold anymore in a lot of places. But when it's really cold and you go outside and walk on the snow and it's just super creaky, it's qeich. Underline G, high tone, EE, X, underline apostrophe. And that's where the word like for qeeqja is a violin, because it's a creak, the one that creaks. And qeeqja is an organ, because it also sounds real creaky. And then shaqiq is the verb for something to be creaking. Then there's a few different sort of related things when it comes to it, but shaqiqji would be a creaky thing. It's always creaking. So that would be the squeaky wheel, I think.
kootéeyaa sháaxʼ.
And sheesh, okay. Okay. Next verb up. How do we know? Predictors, what? So the whole reason we're doing this is so that we can look up verbs, know how to use them. Look up verbs, know how to use them. Then as you sort of continue to build your vocabulary of verbs, you're looking them up, and there's, not everybody does it this way, but there's a few of us who learn how to talk. We say, okay, that's a ga verb. Okay, I got it now. I got it. I'll just remember that it's ga. I won't forget. That way I'll know when it goes in the future, I gotta say keguxhitzin, right? And I could say kenaltzin, it's gaining strength. But that's why I remember that this is ga. So when I look at verbs, I'm like, okay, classifier, conjugation, stem variation. Those are the things I look for. And then, you know, the other information I need to know is there an object? Is there a subject? Is there thematic prefixes? Then I've got it, right? And then and then once I start using it, I'll remember. That's how I learn verbs. But everybody's going to be different, right? But when I look at them, that's what I look, and that's why we're going to color code all this stuff so that it's there for you. You know, the purple is going to show you the classifier. If you see blue, there's an object there. There's no red, so there's no subject. Can't add one.
Real quick question.
Ah,
How long would it have to be in front of you on a screen for you to get that information and kind of see it? 1 second, 2 seconds?
oh, if I look at
How
it,
fast? Yeah, so if I put a word up and use some animation to make the word go by, but wanted to include this in-depth information as a part of it, how long would you have to see it in order for it, you know, I show the word kind of slower, but I include this detail kind of on top of it in animation. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, it depends on the level of the learner. I'd say probably 5 seconds for someone who's pretty new at this kind of stuff, and maybe
Okay.
2 or 3 for if you're like, if they're in the phase where they're gobbling up verbs, then 2 seconds is probably all you need. But it kind of
Okay.
adds pretty fast too. But 5 is probably pretty safe.
Okay.
Because then you go, okay, boom. Because also you just, however you internalize the stuff is I think how you end up prioritizing. Like for me, I usually look here first, then I jump back, then here, and then here, and then here, then I go like right there. But I don't know, my eyes just kind of wander. So
And then if they have poor eyesight, they might need longer. If you're making a program, if you could have a
Sheesh.
pause button on it, so somebody could pause it and look at that longer, that would be helpful for a learner who has poor eyesight.
oh, okay, yeah, well. And for those of us who are north of 40, I did a little meme the other day. I was like, because I was painting with my contact lenses on, and it was a very detailed little thing. I was like, what am I doing? So I put up a picture of like Yoda, just kind of going like this. Because when I pulled back, I was like, whoa, I missed. So, lesson learned. You gotta have the magnifiers on or take the contacts out. So, okay, back to the verb.
Renee,
Huh.
could I ask? I remember something about the state verb that like it's always a plus I because it's you're always in that state, right? Is that a
So it's
pattern I can remember?
state verbs and act verbs both have imperfectives. And so the only ones that have imperfectives, like the right now one, and the imperfectives, as far as the prefix goes, are usually the easiest because there's nothing new there, right? So like when you look at this, you're not going to have anything, you're not going to have a perfective marker in there. You're not going to have anything else in there. But so there's three things that have an imperfective that is happening right now. A state verb, an act verb, and a position verb. The position verb, you only usually get the imperfective. It is there, or it isn't there. You can have a negative one. The act verb, the imperfective is always, it's minus I, because it hasn't been completed yet. It's happening right now. The state verb will always be plus I in the imperfective because it must be that way to be that way. So absolutely right. So we see state, that this is going to be an imperfective. It's going to be ʻle. And there's only one thing left to solve. And what's the stem going to be?
Seen.
ʻatudli.ák.
Seen. So when we see this little X, that means this will not change. This will be seen every time. So when you learn things, when you learn how the future works, you'll have to remember to keep this one low. Because you'll want to go kegochlitzin. It's kegochlitzin. Stays low. That being said, I am strong. Chatlitzin. Right? And there's nothing here that can contract. Maybe for real old Southern Lingít, they might contract the I out of here because they're wild. But for all like current speakers of Lingít, I think there's nothing that will contract here. So this one should go. All we're going to do right now is change the object pronoun. There's nothing in between it and the classifier. Classifier must say stay ʻle, and the scene won't change. You are strong. Okay.
Sorry. Well, I had a question about that because some people think I'm saying cheesh, but I just say gunash cheesh and my voice is kind of low and fast, so the gunash disappears and everybody just hears cheesh. My mouth is doing it, but nobody hears the gunash part. And so people have started to come back and say cheesh to me. And I wonder if it's kind of the same way here. The I is actually there. It's happening so fast and so low, it just kind of drops out.
Could be. I hear highly fluent speakers also saying good cheese. Like it comes out so big. I think that word is just so compressed because it said so much. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, you are strong.
ʻitlitzin.
Ishlitzin. They are strong, or it is strong, singular.
Litzin.
Litzin. We are strong.
Halitzin.
Ashlitzin. Y'all are strong.
Yilitzin.
Yishitzin. They all are strong, plural.
ʻhaslitzin.
Huslitzin. People are strong. Huslitzin. Right? We got a bunch of notes in there. I gotta take those notes out. You okay? What are these? Okay. We must have gotten to this point at somewhere. Okay. What about this one? Everything we need to know is right there to accurately.
The stem won't, the stem has that little X, so it won't change.
Nik, every time. Always high and long. What else?
Ḥanik.
Say it again.
Did I say it wrong? Ḥanik.
Well, so there's going to be, we should expect chat, but what is?
That's the
Yeah, so chat, that's correct. But then also, it's a state verb. So because it's a state verb, it will be imperfective, and it will be plus I. So the classifier will be ya. Yanik, 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 and yanik, ya will not contract in this case. It will not.
Hat Yanik.
Yeah, oh, chat yanik. You are sick.
I'm in pain.
Sean, Keewáa Juan. Everybody who's got kind of sick, Keewáa Juan. I got hit with a hockey puck twice last week. I got two bruises.
Hey, Sean.
I said real bad words to the person who did it last time. I think he got mad. Okay. You are sick.
Unique.
Unique, right? All of these will go unique, 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 all of them. My phone is making noise.
You're unique.
Frank Ocean's coming on my phone. Okay. They are sick. It is sick, singular.
Unique.
Unique. We are sick.
Haa Unique.
Unique. Y'all are sick.
Unique.
Unique. They all are sick. Plural.
Unique.
That's unique. People are sick.
Unique.
Unique or unique. I do think most people would say unique. Yeah, for unique. I think about that all the time with unique. But this ya is prone to turning into a W. But there are some communities, like I do hear, if I go to Sitka, Shitka, I do hear people say wasaku kuyati. Most other places would say kuwati. So they might say in Sitka kuyanik. Totally fine. But a lot of places would say kuwanik. Okay, one more. Before we do this one, I will say this is usually when there's two verbs and one of them has only an object, and one of them has an object and a subject. This is the case where the verb does not change at all. You could put a subject in this one. It's a different verb, and that means for someone to make something dirty. But usually the verb goes through some sort of like the classifier changes or something. In this case, it doesn't. You could throw a subject in there. So you could say wootlechech and outlechech. Those are two different verbs. So again, I'll recap this one since we're at 7 o'clock. It is all these are objects. We're just doing objects right now. Then we're going to switch to subjects. At some point later, we'll do both at the same time. We're walking that direction. It's an event.
It's not event verb. It's not a state verb.
Right. So it's going to be perfective for right now. So we're going to have wo. Wo is going to pop up right here. Then this is going to be sh. So we're going to have a lot of woosh in here. And that is subject to contraction. So then it's going to turn into just a W and sometimes an M because we have sh.
I'm in front of like a bunch of people. I don't want to get up and walk around.
Oh, okay. So we
Renee, sorry, is that because it does have an object? Or is it a certain
well,
It's the event.
just comes back to if it is that way, it is that way. And if it is that way, it's going to be plus I.
I'm sorry, but the L, right? Rather than it being a zero classifier,
Yes.
it's a category or
Oh, we need the chart.
Yeah, so this
I
verb.
thought I had read that was like when you had an object,
Oh,
but maybe I.
yeah, because could be a noun for shadow or dirt, for something, and so yeah, when you look at that, so if we go, there could be something like you're saying, it does have this thing, so it could be that way where like it has a darkening, a shading on it, which is how Tlingit might sort of look at being dirty. So yeah, I see what you're saying now. But that's just one of the ways that that one functions. And so there are some verbs too. And Tlingit has a whole bunch of this stuff where it's like, I can't think about the deeper meaning, you just gotta accept like that's how this one is. But you could certainly sort of, it's a state that is different and then you can wash it up usually. So it could certainly mean that. Okay. It's a 0, so it's gotta be short. All the way down. I am dirty.
ʻatudli.ák.
You are dirty. 2 options. Well, you can't have that syllable after w has to drop. That's the only way you can get the M. And in this case, it must drop. Imli or iwli, right? So if you got I, w, sh, or si, or any kind of consonant vowel, that's going to be the one that contracts. It's right there. First thing to go is that perfective marker in this case. They are dirty. It is dirty. It's only an object. We are dirty.
Haa Ḳusteeyí.
Haa Ḳusteeyí. Ḥusteeyí. Y'all are dirty. I like to say that one that way. Oh, that's them.
Let's see. Sorry. You
Now, back to the one you just said. They all are dirty. And now people are dirty. 2 ways. Yep. Dirty people. That's our key to going home. Thoughts, questions? We got a few left until we get to the subjects. So,
Kunal,
16.
sorry,
Yeah.
I know you told us before, but why did the k become a double O instead of a U?
This combination right here. So there is a thing. So with the perfective marker, it's kind of a slippery one. It's like some sort of sea creature or something. It's just real slimy. And so like sometimes it's going to jump and it's going to jump to different places. And so like the ch, it's always going to jump on the other side of ch for a subject. Just keep that in mind. That's just what it does. For this one, it does turn into a W, but the vowel sort of seems to combine with that one. So now you've got like the vowel sort of jumping over, and you do end up with ku. But one of the reasons for that, like there is a good reason for it. So I'm just going to make a note under this one. So you say ʼatudli, to exist, and then you say ʼatudli, to be born. So for me, I think Tlingit just needs to add a little bit extra there to make sure that people can hear it. Because ʼatudli, those are too close. So you got to go ʼatudli. It just stretches it out a little bit so that you can hear it. Okay, Johan.
A quick one. These spreadsheets we signed up for, I guess we'll just do them whenever we get to them. Is that how it's?
Yeah, gonna change for well, I was feeling bad because we had so many things that have sort of like, okay, for this class, we're gonna go to this thing. For this class, this thing is happening. So I felt like we needed to sort of get a little bit more of a rhythm in terms of what we're trying to do. So I think next week we'll revisit that spreadsheet and maybe start the process the week after that, where because we sort of have a conversation on Mondays, and then for Wednesdays we've got a little bit of an activity. So I just want people to brainstorm and come up with things for us to try. That way, when I retire and you guys are teaching this, or someone else is, they've got all these ideas from all these brilliant. You're all brilliant. Y'all just blow me away with how intelligent you are and how much you're able to sort of absorb with Lingít. It makes me really happy. So I want to see what kinds of ideas you folks have. Because I always come back to the same things too. Like way before we started the language nest, we started with just getting little toddlers together. And one time, Dash Ginny said, I can't make it. You have to go lead the thing today. So I start firing up the projector, and she's like, what are you doing? I was like, well, we're going to go over the classifier. She's like, these are little tiny kids. You can't do it. So I was like, fine. Let's sing songs. So you guys got to save each other from me and my endless routines of slideshow. I guess I'll just be like a slideshow maniac, Okay. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the things if you're able to go to them. Remember, be ready for Monday. We'll come in. We'll just start talking about Orange Shirt Day. I've got a video to show you. And then we're going to talk about, it's going to be heavy because that's all about boarding schools and residential schools. But then we're going to shift at some point in the conversation, talk about totem pole raisings and everything coming back in this kootéeyaa, everything's echoing back. So.
It's balance.
Cheese.
Keewáa Ḳáawu. Okay.
Cheese.
Keewáa.